plug. But we're going to start off, as I said, talking about last night's results, because we went through the games yesterday, the three of us, and we kind of, I think we all had the feeling that we were like, not the world's greatest set of fixtures, but it turned out to be a little more exciting than we thought, especially with Liverpool at home to Southampton, got through 2-1 thanks to a late goal from Ekitike and an opening goal of the season for Alexander Isak after his £130 million move. But there's been a lot of debate about Ekitike and how stupid his decision was to take his shirt off, but also there's been a lot of talk in the last 12 or so hours about the rule to start with.
Taking your shirt off to get a second yellow against Southampton, that is just so stupid. Like, I understand, like Arne Slot, I have the utmost respect for Arne Slot, because at least he said, yeah, he's stupid. Like, if you're doing that in a Champions League final, 89th minute, whatever, and you've just scored an absolute worldie to go and win Liverpool Champions League, fair, fine. Even if you're doing it in the Premier League, big game. We're talking about doing it against Southampton. You know, and he was absolutely right what he said. You should be going and giving Chiesa his flowers for that goal. And also as well, Liverpool have had a lot of last minute goals this season, and this wasn't as last minute as 85th minute, so it's towards the end of the game, but it's not like we've not seen goals scored past that time as well anyway. Correct. It's just, I don't know, I don't want to say it cringed me, because I don't mind players taking their shirt off if there's a reason to do it, but like that whole situation cringed me. And then you just see Frimpong come over being like, bro, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? Like, you're going to get sent off. It's just stupid. But again, we were talking about yesterday about the Ekitike Isak debate, you know, how they're going to fit. Well, now you've just opened the door for Isak to come on and
start. Well, because we were speaking about this another thing yesterday about kind of, I argued that Ekitike should be playing based on merit. Yeah. That he's scoring his goals in the Premier League. He scored the Merseyside derby in the last Premier League game. He scored again today. And if he hadn't got the red card, I'd be sat there going, he should probably start on the weekend because he scored back-to-back games. But now he won't. Nope. Isak will start. Might even play 90 minutes now, Isak, or get maybe 70, 80 minutes when maybe he wouldn't have got that before. And Ekitike's almost made a decision that will threaten his place in the team longer term.
I do agree with that. I mean, Ekitike is well aware of the rules. What he did yesterday was downright crass and stupid, and it just spoke to a level of immaturity that really, can I say, pisses me off with some of these players.
It's not about him. You can say.
No, it wasn't about him.
It's not about him. I mean, at the end of the day, Chiesa was the man who pretty much made that. All he had to do was tap it in. Yes, to be fair, he was in the right place at the right time. So, yeah, he gets credit for that. But if you contrast that with the goal that Gyökeres scores against Forest a few weeks back, that was almost the same type of deal, where Eze was the one who pretty much did all the heavy lifting for that goal, just like Chiesa did. But here's the difference. When Gyökeres puts the ball in the back of the net, he doesn't even celebrate. The first thing he does, look up, run towards Eze, points towards him and says, yeah, that's what you want to see, you know what I mean? But players these days, I've said it before, football is a team game played by a lot of individuals. They're only thinking about themselves. I mean, this, again, what he did there, that's not been spoken of too much, kind of hints at another level of immaturity. He's taking off his shirt, holding it up to the crowd. We know you're Ekitike. What are you trying to say? That I should be playing instead of
It's also saying,
Isak?
I'm the man, and I've just scored against Southampton.
Against Southampton in Carabao Cup.
But this is what I mean. It's also not necessarily the winning goal. Yeah, like Southampton had already scored that game. If you got 85th minute, you've maybe got 3 or 4 minutes at least extra time, as in most games. That's 7 or 8 minutes. If they were to then go 2-2 like Southampton and it goes straight to penalties, and you've been sent off, everyone's just looking, going, what on earth are you doing? But I also do think...
Sorry, I just wanted to say my last point on this was shout out to Arne Slot. I really love the way he handled that. Oh, yeah, you would have had a lot of managers, dare I say it, actually I'm not going to say it. Go on. You would have had a lot of managers who would have come out and tried to defend that nonsense, but he nailed it. He said, look, it was stupid and it's cost him, and it's ultimately cost him because now Ekitike is not going to be available for the
and I'm just reading through Slot's quote on it in his post-match press conference, and he also relates it to when he got sent off against Everton last year. So Slot obviously got a red card in the Premier League against Everton last year. I think it was at Goodison Park, and when Tarkowski got that 7th minute equaliser or something like that. And then he says here basically, when I got my red card against Everton last season, that was stupid because I showed my emotions, and it's fine. He said it's fine to show emotions, but don't show emotions in a way that it can get you punished. I've done it before against Everton. I got punished and I felt stupid. So now I can sit here and say to Ekitike, you've done the same thing. He's got a red card.
He's apologised as well, Ekitike.
Yeah, and he's apologised. I think it's just a case of, Ekitike is now got all eyes on the kind of the reigning Premier League champions and the team who are looking to go back.
I think he had to apologise because you noticed in the post-match interview that I think it was Andy Robertson he also called him out for it.
But I also think this should be the end of it now.
Oh yeah.
Everyone goes, that was stupid, and he's got to sit there and
don't think you'll see him do it again.
If you want, we can do an hour-long podcast on it, Laurie. But I don't think that would be. Of course,
it'll
go down too well.
I'll be honest with you, they'd probably rather him do it in a game against Southampton than do it in a game against Arsenal or a game against City, wouldn't they?
We're getting sent off, yeah.
I thought it was rank immaturity, and he should be called out. And
but
he was called out. So that's the end.
Kind of thing you
we
learn
make mistakes.
From.
We live, we learn, we move.
But also, Isak's now obviously got his opening goal, and he will start on the weekend, kind of unexpectedly, which is, I think, very good news for Liverpool fans that he's quickly off on the running, because we see what can happen when players don't get goals quickly. Either kind of not necessarily in your own club, but the pressure around it, and obviously the
talking about Sesko.
Well, in some case, yeah, but then the higher price tag, the more that pressure will happen.
Pressure.
Like if Isak hadn't scored in his first 5 games, for example, everyone's going, why'd you sign him then? But he's off the mark. And do you think we could quite quickly start seeing the Isak of last season?
Yeah. Absolutely, I have no doubt that he's going to hit the ground.
Yeah. He'll get 20 this season. No,
I mean, look, he was Newcastle were a good side, and he was absolutely emphatic to watch at St James's Park. So him being involved in Liverpool and the way that they play and the amount of chances that he's going to get, the amount of service, you probably actually put him for golden. You could put him as golden boot.
The only problem he might have is that there's a certain Mohamed Salah who might have something to say about that.
Yeah, fine, but Salah's not having a good start to the season. Let's be real.
But he never does he?
No, he doesn't. And he is inevitable. Before any Liverpool fans get on to me, he is inevitable. But this way, the goals are going to be even more shared out. You've got a striker that is going to be so hungry for it. Plus, then Ekitike is also there and available, and will be featuring as well. So it's a really nice headache for Liverpool to have.
As long as it works for the benefit of the team.
Course.
Because to go back to Ekitike, I do see some cut already. Is there a little bit of resentment there? I mean, the manner that he did that, taking off his shirt and showing it to the ref, to me, that was him saying, "Look, I want to start."
Well,
that's why I did you not take that?
Is that not a healthy attitude though? If
it isn't.
A player wants to start games.
It isn't. He got booked and sent off for that. That's very immature thing to do. So don't get me wrong, competition for places is great. But it's how you embrace that.
Well, that's.
Is it for the benefit of the team, or
that's
is it
up
just
to Slot? Slot will want to go 65 games this season. He'll want to be in the final of every single competition and win the Premier League. So there is so much scope for all the players to play.
There is.
But
I may remind you that when Mane was at the club, remember there was that little rift, and I'm not speaking out of turn here because there was that game when it kind of blew up. There was rumours of it. Remember, Abby, when Mane and
Firmino.
No, when Mane and Salah. Apparently there was a little rift because he was saying that Salah didn't want to pass to him in.
Well, this is what you were saying before.
That's up to Slot.
That's up to Slot.
That's just. I mean, Slot. You've just obviously we've all just praised the way Slot handled this initially. And it's just up to Slot to continue doing it. I don't think Liverpool would have bought all these players if Slot didn't think he could handle it.
No, absolutely not. And at the end of the day, like you said, it's a team game. If Liverpool want to retain the title, it's a team effort. It's not a one person, one man band. And they haven't been like that ever. Even when Salah's been as phenomenal as he has, or Mane was, or Firmino was, or other strikers, other great centre forwards they've had over the years. It's a team game. So look, like I said, it's a great place to be in where you've got this much talent, and we're also talking about for someone like Wirtz who hasn't even arrived really to the party yet. They'll figure it out. I have no doubt. I mean, look at them. They're not even remotely at full pelt yet, and they're already 5 points. Yeah,
they're already doing very. And also, there's obviously when you mention Salah, he's also off to AFCON at some point, which some of the comments are mentioning. So there is plenty of scope for all these players to play.
Their biggest problem is defensively.
Yeah, and
that's the area that's the problem.
A fantastic segue into this is the last thing we talk about Liverpool is Giovanni Leoni's done his ACL.
Really sad for the club.
And will be out for a long time, pretty much most of this season, which then leaves basically Joe Gomez as their only senior backup centre back.
They can play Endo there,
Konate and Van Dijk.
Yeah, ideally you wouldn't want to rely on just having Endo there, especially if if you do get another injury. Yeah. But it just highlights the importance of getting the Mark Gahey deal done. and that's going to cost
I
them.
reckon they might get that deal done.
But he's out of contract in the summer, right?
I also reckon, though, that they might have to throw in, to get Palace to sell in January, I get the feeling they might have to up their bid, because they agreed 35 million with Parish in the summer.
Oh, it's going to be
I reckon they're going to have to pay more, 45 million, or etc. if they want to get him in January. So
they paid 135 million for Verts.
I think that it's going to be a lot if they want to get him in Jan. If you want him mid-season,
that's right. I'm thinking 45, 50 million quid. Even if
I think it could be higher.
But it is final 6 months, so there is a
final
cap
6
to that.
months. But
if Palace agreed to 35, they're going to use that as a barometer.
But that's 35 in the summer where you've still got time and to do stuff. I know in January you've still got time, but
it was deadline day.
But obviously those conversations would have been going on long before that.
True.
But in terms of January, unless they've got someone that is going to come in Jan, I'm sure they will do it regardless, because they're going to want the money for him. They're not going to really want him to go on a free. But I don't think 35 is where they'll land. I think it will be higher.
He's worth more than that.
Yeah,
and
he's
worth
way more than that.
It's easy 60, 70 million pounds back. Like if Van Dijk was going for 75, 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, he's probably around 60.
Then I'd reckon, around there. Probably. But it is sad to see, Giovanni Leoni, 18 years old. Initially, I think he was a little wary about Liverpool move, but then decided to make it, went to Liverpool, and at such a young age as well, he's done his ACL.
These ACLs are becoming very prevalent, aren't they?
They really are in both the men's and women's games. I remember a few years ago there was a flurry of ACL injuries in the women's game, and now there seems to be a fair amount in the men's game as well. Yeah. I don't know if it's just the overplaying, or maybe it's the type of surface, or the amount that the players are having to load on their knees over the course of a long time.
There's not much recovery time between it, especially if you're in multiple competitions as well. If you're playing cup games, you're essentially playing 3 games in a week if you're one of the top teams. So it's a lot to do on your body. It's not a lot of time to recover and let the body rest. You're training in between that. You think about it, if you get an injury and you gym or you do any type of fitness, if you've got an injury, you tend to take some time off to let it heal, because you're just, I know they have the best facilities and I'm not going to cry for them, but it's a lot of strain on your body.
Yeah, and I just think it's sad he's such a young player get injured.
Yeah,
because we've all seen it with so many players who have come out the blocks flying and then had injury after injury after injury, and end up just kind of falling down the pecking order and never quite
he'll get his
potential.
time.
But I think hopefully he will. Hopefully he'll get his recovery and get his time and get through. But